What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the YouTube channel. Today I have an extremely fun, super exciting video for you guys because today I'm going to be going over my top 10 favorite comic books of 2025. My top 10 favorite books that came out this year. This was an extremely hard list to make and narrow down because there was an absurd amount of just amazing comic books that released this year. But I did it. I narrowed it down to 10, or I guess technically 13, because I have 3 honorable mentions that I'll go over before we get into the top 3. But before we get into the list, I just want to preface the only thing that made a book eligible for my list was that it just had to have issues releasing this year. So if it started all the way back in 2016, but it's still ongoing and it still had issues releasing this year, it counts. But I'm only really gauging the series off of the issues that did release this year in 2025. Hopefully that makes sense. But regardless, it's my list, so that's how it is. But kicking it off at number 10, my 10th favorite book of 2025, comic book of 2025, is Hyde Street. Ghost Machine, Hyde Street, Geoff Johns, Ivan Reyes. This is my favorite horror book on shelves. Currently, at least. I mean, there's a lot of amazing horror books, but this is my number one. I think all things Ghost Machine are fantastic. Spoiler warning, there's another Ghost Machine coming up here soon. But yeah, Hyde Street, it's so good. It's just such a unique, world and a very unique way to portray horror and everything like that. We just got this super cool world, these super cool characters and everything like that. My favorite character is definitely the matinee monster. But yeah, Hyde Street is just so good, so scary, got great horror elements, amazing artwork by Ivan Reyes, and Geoff Johns is just killing it like he's killing it on every single one of his books. But yeah, Hyde Street, my favorite horror ongoing of 2025, so it had to be on this list because I do love horror comics. So yeah, Hyde Street at number 10. And now coming in at number 9, like I said, spoiler warning, we did have some more Ghost Machine coming up because at number 9 we have Geiger, also written by Geoff Johns, art by Gary Frank, another Ghost Machine title. Geiger is fantastic. It's been on my top 10 ongoing list for the entirety of the year, so obviously it's still going to be on it at the end of the year. I do think it maybe lost a little bit of consistency, like in these last couple of issues and everything, but this newest issue that just came out, I think the next arc is going to be fantastic, and everything that came out in the beginning of the year with Ash Arden and everything like that was just so fun. Amazing art by Gary Frank and colors by Brad Anderson. Geoff Johns is obviously writing just a phenomenal story. Like I said, with Hyde Street, he's writing just so many great books. I don't know how he does it because he's got this one, he's got Hyde Street, he's got all the other Ghost Machine titles and everything like that. Geoff Johns is doing his thing, and Geiger, I mean, it's just amazing. If you haven't heard of Geiger, it follows this man who was basically poisoned by radiation, long story short, and he's lost his family. He's basically lost everything, and he's just roaming the world, just trying to figure out life as a radioactive man and everything like that. He meets some awesome characters, some great side characters and everything like that. The cast is awesome. Nate the Nuclear Knight, that's a mouthful. It's a super fun character and everything like that. His homie, the Zebra, Zigzag. Obviously, we got Barney and everything like that. And my goat, Junkyard Joe, is in Geiger, so obviously I'm going to like that even more. But yeah, Geiger is just amazing action, great writing, phenomenal art and colors. And yeah, it had to be on my number 9 because, like I said, it's been in my top 10 for the entirety of the year. So it stays in the top 10 at the end of the year. Coming in at number 9. And now coming in at number 8, we have yet again another indie book. But I promise you guys there's plenty of Marvel and DC coming up. But coming in at number 8, we have Bug Wars. Bug Wars by Jason Aaron and Mahmoud Asrar. Bug Wars is one of my favorite books of the year. I mean, I guess obviously it's on my top 10 list of favorite books of the year. But this was phenomenal. And this is a true 2025 book as it started in 2025 and ended in 2025. Or at least this first arc. We are going to get more arcs. The second volume is coming out in 2022. I think we're going to, or 2026. Why did I say 2022? We're going to be getting a one-shot about one of the characters in here and everything like that. But Bug Wars, it is just amazing. I always say classic Jason Aaron world building. I'm a huge fan of Jason Aaron and his writing style and everything like that. And I think Bug Wars is a perfect portrayal of his writing style. And Mahmoud Asrar's art is just amazing. This definitely has some horror aspects. I have it over Hyde Street because I don't think it's a pure horror book. I think it's also action and adventurous and everything like that. But if you haven't heard of Bug Wars, we follow the main character, Slade, and he basically, long story short, is shrunken down into bug size, and he's living in his backyard and everything like that, where there's all these, it's an entire civilization. They're called mites and everything. The beetles, the wasps, the spiders, they all have their own little areas and everything like that. and it's a very savage land. I will say also, I'm going to preface, this is 100,000% a mature audience book. You got to be like mature to read this one. There's some definitely some non-kid friendly things in this story. That's 100% true. But regardless, it's savage, it's crazy, it's cool, but it's also got moments that are filled with heart and everything like that. Great character dynamics, family dynamics with Slade and his family, his brother, his mom, his dad, and everything play huge roles in the story. But it's just so fun. I get so lost in the world every single time I read one of these issues. It's one of those books that doesn't feel like I'm reading it. It feels like I'm watching it, if that makes sense. My true comic book fans understand what I'm talking about there. But yeah, Bug Wars, I get so excited about it every time it came out. I'm patiently waiting for the second arc to come out next year, because Bug Wars, it is that freaking good. Like I said, if you are a mature reader, you gotta check out Bug Wars. It is amazing, and it most certainly deserves my number 8 spot of my favorite books this year. Now, coming in at number 7, I told you guys, be patient, the Marvel and DC is coming. It's here. Coming in at number 7, we have Absolute Wonder Woman by Kelly Thompson and Hayden Sherman. I really wish I could put this higher, but at the end of the day, it's on my top 10. All of these books that are in my top 10 list are amazing. I love them all equally. I just have to rank them. But Absolute Wonder Woman is beautiful. It's everything I've ever wanted out of a Wonder Woman book. Obviously, it's absolute, so it's different. It's Wonder Woman, and she's from hell. She's a witch, all this kind of stuff. And a witch from hell, that should be inherently like pretty evil. But Wonder Woman stays true to her core. Kelly Thompson truly understands Diana, in my opinion. She's still very loving, very compassionate. She seeks out the truth and everything like that. I just adore Absolute Wonder Woman. Kelly Thompson, Hayden Sherman, they're really doing their thing. Like I said, I really truly think Kelly Thompson fully understands the character of Diana, but Hayden Sherman on the art, they are doing some next level stuff, some industry changing stuff. The paneling is next level. I seriously cannot speak highly enough about Hayden Sherman and their art. The covers are fantastic. The art is fantastic. Absolute Wonder Woman also has some really good step-in artists and guest artists and everything like that, like Matea de Ulis, who did The Cole with Kelly Thompson, which is another great book that you guys should check out. But regardless, this is just a beautiful story. It's beautifully illustrated. It's beautifully written. The dialogue is amazing. The side characters are amazing. Everything about the Absolute Universe is awesome, but Absolute Wonder Woman in particular is just such a beautiful book. I'm extremely excited for every single new issue that comes out. It's been one of my favorite books since it came out. All of these have, but Absolute Wonder Woman is amazing. Like I said, I would put it higher if I could, but I gotta rank them somehow, some way. But Absolute Wonder Woman, like I said, I can't say it enough. It's beautiful. We're gonna leave it at that. Coming in at number 7 is Absolute Wonder Woman. Now, coming in at number 6, you guys might have been like, yo, where is the Marvel and DC? He had 3 indie books to kick it off. Guys, we're going 2 DC in a row, because coming in at number 6, we have Absolute Martian Manhunter, Dennis Camp, Javier Rodriguez. Please tell me I did that right. Yes, I say Javier Rodriguez or Fernandez every other time. It is Javier Rodriguez, and I need to put some respect on that man's name, because his artwork in this is next freaking level. I think all the Absolute titles have just amazing artwork and everything like that. Some of the best art in comics right now is coming out of that Absolute universe. But once again, just like I said about Hayden Sherman, Javier Rodriguez is just changing what comic book art looks like in the modern era and everything like that. It's phenomenal. But aside from that, Dennis Camp is writing just an amazing story. It's got great social commentary. It's got great messages and metaphors and everything like that. On top of just being a super cool, super unique, mind-boggling trip of a story. And that tied with Javier Rodriguez's also just extremely trippy, unique, and colorful, vibrant artwork. It's just amazing. It's one of the best comic books to come out in recent years, in my opinion. I might have it a little bit lower on my personal list than I do other people, but I still think it's flawless. Just the books ahead of it, I just personally liked a little bit more. But Absolute Martian Manhunter, I do think is going to go down in the history books as one of the greatest comic books of all time. It's seriously that good. If you guys, for some reason, haven't checked it out yet, please do. It is amazing. Dennis Camp is amazing. Javier Rodriguez is amazing. Check out all the other work that they've done, because both of them are just phenomenal creators, and everything they've touched has just been pure gold. And Absolute Martian Manhunter is the culmination of all of that coming together. It is amazing. And yeah, definitely deserves my spot on this list. And now we've made it to the top 5, y'all. And everyone's like, where's Marvel at? It's right here, because kicking off that top 5, we have what? Another Dennis Camp book? Yes. The Ultimates, written by Dennis Camp, art by Juan Fergari, I believe. This is a guest artist, I guess, so that's not ideal. But regardless, Dennis Camp is once again killing it on this book. Everything I said about Martian Manhunter practically applies to this. Obviously, minus the amazing artwork by Javier Rodriguez, but the art in here is still absolutely phenomenal. But the writing just nails it. I do have this as my personal favorite Ultimate title. Now that Ultimate Universe is almost done, this and Ultimate Spider-Man were neck and neck for a long time, but the Ultimates has definitely taken over. I think it's very, very consistent. I think it's the most consistent book out of the Ultimate Universe. And yeah, it's just got an awesome cast of characters with all these fresh, unique takes on them, obviously, because it's the Ultimate Universe. And they have all these very awesome dynamics between each other and great dialogue moments and everything written by Dennis Camp. But yeah, like I said about Absolute Martian Manhunter, Dennis Camp applies all these social commentary things and important messages to his stories. And I do think Ultimates is like the pinnacle of that. I think he touches on a lot of important topics, and he also, while at the same time taking a lot of creative risks in the way he tells the story and everything. I mean, there's an issue of the Ultimates that is from front to end a complete poem. It's literally every single word on the pages is literally a poem. So stuff like that, he takes these risks, and I do think they pay off every singular time. The messages are being received. I think the Ultimates is just amazing. It's a very important book for the time period, in my opinion. And yeah, I think Dennis Camp is one of the best working creators right now. Obviously, with books like Absolute Martian Manhunter and the Ultimates, he's also writing Assorted Crisis Events, which isn't quite on my list, but I do think it is a phenomenal, beautiful anthology series out of Image Comics that you guys should definitely check out. But yeah, Dennis Camp is a beast. I think the Ultimates is his best current book right now, so obviously it's kicking off the top 5 Ultimates, baby. And now it's time for number 4. My bad. But at number 4 of my 4th favorite comic book to come out in 2025 is Absolute Batman. Scott Snyder, Nick Dragotta, how could this not be on the list? Batman has moved up my absolute rankings significantly. I definitely used to have Martian Manhunter and Wonder Woman over it. Obviously, that's not the case anymore. This recent Bane arc is one of my favorite arcs in like almost all comics. It's definitely one of my favorite arcs in recent comics. It is just pure epicness. Like, I read comic books for a multitude of reasons. For the messages, for the stories, to be motivated, to learn, all this kind of stuff. But one of the main reasons I also like to read comics is for epicness. And this is like the pinnacle of epicness comic books. I mean, it's just so crazy. It's just basically take Batman and just make him as heavy metal epic as possible. And it works, in my opinion, at least. The artwork is amazing. It's gruesome when it needs to be. It's beautiful when it needs to be. Scott Snyder, one of the greatest Batman writers of all time. He's doing it again on Absolute Batman. I feel like there's not much I need to say. It's the most popular book in the world right now. It's the highest selling, highest trending comic. So obviously, 99% of you guys watching this video have probably heard a good amount about Absolute Batman. All the good things you hear are true. It is that freaking good. I love everything about Absolute Batman. I do think, like I said, at the beginning, I didn't like it as much as I like it now. It's just, it's skyrocketed. It's gotten so much better, and it started off amazing. The first issue was phenomenal. Still one of my favorite issues of the entire series. But then also you add in Daniel Warren Johnson, my all-time GOAT, Daniel Warren Johnson's annual that released recently as well. Add that into this. It's got to be a top 10 book. It's got to be top 5. It's coming in at number 4 for a reason. But yeah, it is that good. The Bane arc has bumped this up a lot for me. The annual also has bumped it up a lot for me. But the hype is real. It does deserve the hype. It's not overrated. This is an amazing book and easily deserves my number 4 spot. All right, and now before we get into the top 3, I do have 3 honorable mentions, like I said. So before we get into that, we're going to kick it off with my first honorable mention, which is Rook Exodus. Rook Exodus, a lot of you guys would probably have guessed that this was going to be my book of the year. The only reason it's not, and the only reason I have it in an honorable mention, is because only 3 issues have released this year. It didn't come back until October, I believe, just a couple of months ago. So there's only 3 issues. There's only going to be 3 issues. The 4th issue doesn't come out till 2026. So for that reason and that reason alone, I couldn't compare those 3 issues up against like the 12 plus, 10 plus issues that the rest of these series have had this year. But if it was longer, it would 100% be in here because it is my favorite ongoing. So that I understand how that might be confusing. It's my favorite ongoing, so I have it over a lot of these books as ongoings. But as far as what came out in 2025 alone, I couldn't quite put it above the rest of these. So first honorable mention is Rook Exodus. Second honorable mention is Feral. I talk about Feral all the time. I think this is amazing. Tony Fleeks, Trish Forrester, they're doing their thing on this one. It's probably my second favorite horror ongoing, so that's why it missed out just underneath Hyde Street, but it is so good. I'm sucked into this book every time I'm reading it. I say it a lot, but just in case you haven't heard me say it, I'm going to reiterate it. This book is like The Walking Dead meets The Lion King. It is so good. The cats are adorable, but the horror aspects in this book are crazy. I seriously have had moments where I'm like looking away from the page because of how gross some of the stuff in this is. It's so good, insanely well written. The tension is so high. I had to at least talk about it, so it's definitely an honorable mention. And now my last honorable mention before we get into the my top three favorite books of 2025. Before we get into that, my last honorable mention is Ultimate Spider-Man. Ultimate Spider-Man is amazing. Jonathan Hickman, Marco Checchetto, they have been doing their thing since this book came out. But I will say, at least in my opinion, it has fallen off a little bit. But it's still got to be an honorable mention because the stuff that has came out this year, the beginning of the year in particular, this Kraven arc was so exciting. I feel like people have forgot how amazing Ultimate Spider-Man was just because, yeah, the consistency has fallen slightly. Not a lot, just slightly. But the beginning of the year, we had one of the best arcs in recent years with the Kraven stuff and the Kraven's Last Hunt stuff in the Ultimate Universe. It's just amazing. It's been amazing. But yeah, I just couldn't quite have it over any of the rest of these books that I had in my top 10 just because it's fallen off slightly. I still think it's amazing. It's just slightly fallen off, where the rest of these I think have just been consistently amazing. But yeah, last honorable mention goes to the wonderful and amazing Ultimate Spider-Man. And now the time has come for my top 3 favorite comic books of 2025. Once again, this was extremely hard, and once again, every single one of these books are amazing. But coming in at number 3, kicking off that top 3, we got, of course, you guys didn't think this was gonna be on here. We got The Moon is Following Us by my all-time GOAT, Daniel Warren Johnson, and art by Riley Rossmo. D-Dubs does do some of the art as well. He does the art for the real world, where Riley Rossmo does art for the dream world. This is a beautiful story. I can't recommend it enough. I can't recommend all of Daniel Warren Johnson stuff enough. And this is just another one of his books. So of course it's up here, and of course I'm going to recommend it to you guys. But I thought it was beautiful. From start to finish, I think it's a flawless series. Obviously, you guys know I love Daniel Warren Johnson so much, so I may be a little bit biased. I can understand that, and I can admit that. That being said, I think D-Dubs, his writing style, is just right up my alley. It's made for people like me, I guess, because I love everything he ever does. But The Moon is Following Us is another perfect example. It's got huge family dynamics, and it's just epicness, because this is what D-Dubs does. He makes these super crazy, epic, out of this world settings and universes and everything like that, but uses that to just hide the most deep, heartfelt character moments and stories that are just filled with heart and important messages and stuff like that. So yeah, Moon is Following Us. It's just phenomenal. I don't know what else to say. Everything I say about every Daniel Warren Johnson book applies to this one. So yeah, beautiful. I loved the dynamic between Riley Rossmo and Daniel Warren Johnson with their artwork switches and everything like that, because like I said, this book does take place in like this dream world kind of thing. And so every time they're in the dream world, Riley Rossmo is doing the art, and then Daniel Warren Johnson is doing the art for the real world. And I just love seeing the switch. It's one of the better in-book art switches that I've seen. I think it worked really well, and obviously just colored by Mike Spicer, the legendary Mike Spicer. He's easily my favorite colorist, obviously. How could he not be? But yeah, Moon is Following Us. Beautiful story. Tearjerker for sure, so definite emotional warning if you guys are going to check this one out. But I highly recommend you do, because it is my 3rd favorite comic book of 2025. And now coming in at number 2, my 2nd favorite book of 2025, my 2nd favorite book of the entire year. These top 2 were hard, but there could only be one. So coming in at number 2, we have Absolute Superman, Jason Aaron, Rafa Sandoval. Guys, my favorite Absolute title. It remains my favorite Absolute title. It's been my favorite practically since the birth of the universe. I just love everything about it. Like I said at the beginning of the video with Bug Wars, I'm a sucker for Jason Aaron, and I love his world building and his writing style, and I think this is the pinnacle of it. I think I've said this multiple times, but I'll say it again. I think Absolute Superman is the best book on shelves when it comes to the single issue format. I think you can pick up any single issue of Absolute Superman, have never read any prior whatsoever, pick it up and get a complete story. Obviously, each issue picks up on each other, and there is a cohesive story that's building upon, but each story has a message it's trying to tell, a story it's trying to tell, and everything like that, and I think it does that successfully every singular time. It is amazing. Beautiful, beautiful artwork by Rafa Sandoval. He's definitely becoming one of my favorites in recent years with all his stuff he's done with Superman, Absolute Superman, regular Superman. The House of Brainiac event was beautiful. But yeah, aside from that, like I said, Jason Aaron is always doing his thing. He just builds some just amazing, amazing stories. I cannot speak highly enough about Absolute Superman. It's my favorite in the universe. The universe is phenomenal. It's my favorite. Absolute Universe is my favorite universe in all of comics right now, and this is my favorite in that universe. So obviously it had to be up here. It was really, really close to being my number one, but there can only be one. So Absolute Superman comes in at number 2. Now here it is, my number one favorite book of 2025, my favorite comic of the year. My true fans, you guys already know what was coming. We got Transformers, baby. Daniel Warren Johnson, Jorge Corona, Mike Spicer. I don't know what, if you guys didn't see this coming, this might be your first video watching me, and if that's the case, I appreciate you tuning in. But Transformers is amazing. I personally think it is the best book to come out in the 2020s. In the entire decade of the 2020s so far, I think this is the best one, especially given that it is complete now, and Daniel Warren Johnson's run on it at least is complete. All 24 issues are amazing and absolutely flawless. I think it wrapped up perfectly compared to the way it opened up. There's a nice full circle moment and everything like that. Beautiful, beautiful story. Aside from that, this is the first Daniel Warren Johnson book I ever read. Obviously this came out in 2023, I want to say, is when it started. But because of that, either way, it's my first Daniel Warren Johnson book, so I obviously have some sentimental value to it. But the things that have come out in 2025, because that's how we're gauging this list. The arcs that have come out this year, I mean, the finale arc alone is going to have this up here for me, because every single issue of the finale, just every single issue of the story is perfect, in my opinion. I obviously can understand if other people don't like it. Everyone's got their own taste in books and everything like that. But like I said earlier with Daniel Warren Johnson, I feel like his books are just made for me. It's exactly what I'm looking for out of a story, artistically and writing wise and everything like that. But it's so beautiful. I can't stress it enough. If you guys haven't read this, I mean, I don't know what you're doing. It's the best book of 2020 in my opinion, but it's also the best book of 2025. It's just, I don't know how you can make massive robots so human. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love everything about Transformers. I love everything about Daniel Warren Johnson. So obviously he had to be my number one this year. But yeah, I mean, Transformers, amazing. I have nothing left to say. Everything about it is beautiful. All right, guys, there it is. Those are my top 10/13 with 3 honorable mentions, but my top 10 favorite comic books that came out this year. Like I said at the beginning, this list was extremely hard to make. There definitely was some snubs, some books that I wanted to have on the list, but I couldn't just because there could only be 10, or I guess 13. But with that, because of that, you guys got to let me know what were your favorite ongoings or just favorite books this year, period. If you guys want to give me your top 10, your top 5, just your number 1, I got to know what are your guys' favorite books from the year. If I haven't read them, I got to check them out. But yeah, with that being said, that's going to go ahead and wrap it up for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you guys liked my list. Once again, let me know your favorites. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and get on out of here. I hope you guys have an amazing day, whatever day you guys are watching this on. I hope it's the best day ever. Keep on being you. Chase your dreams. Read some comics. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.